So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Fairy Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most fabulous viewers. If you guys are new here, welcome to this channel, and I hope you guys stay and that this reading resonates for you guys. I have playlists with plenty of readings if this reading isn't something that does connect with you. For those of you guys who are returning, I am so grateful, and I can't express to you guys how blessed I am to have you here. I know I have quite a few subscribers, but not a whole lot of people sort of engaged in all the readings, okay, which tells me either they're very, very highly specific, okay, or we're just sort of, like connecting with the messages that are really just applying to our own world. And that's really what my intention is here, okay, not to get anyone stuck on the tarot trap or provide anyone with sort of information that keeps them in limerence or stuck on a person, place, thing. That's never my intention. Okay, this is all about healing. And so therefore, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to see more love readings and that sort of thing. And it's like, okay, well, whatever messaging is having to come through from spirit is what I deliver here. I don't just sort of do things for views or clicks or likes. Now, definitely, I do want to make sure that the message from spirit gets to the right people. And so the best way to do that is for there to be my content is sort of out there. Okay, so if there's comments, likes, shares, subscribes, engagement, however you support the channel, it is highly appreciated, and I do feel it will get to the right people. Okay, so you guys who are engaged, my messaging is I love you, and I see you, and I read all your comments. I try to get back to you if I can, and I do wish you guys the very best on this journey. I see growth, I see healing, and it's absolutely wonderful to be a part of your world, okay? And of course, I'm on a journey as well, and so we are a soul family. So I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to get into today's reading. These decks are the decks I'll be using for today's reading. It's funny because it always starts with a little bit, and then Spirit's like, and this one, and this one, and this one. I'm like, shut up, Spirit, because I got to put them all away and pull. There's a lot that goes into this whole thing. I don't know why I'm going off on a whole tributary here at this intro, but there's a lot. Okay, so this reading is going to be about a loved one that has a message for you. This loved one could be someone in your world. This could be someone who's crossed over. This could be a guardian angel. This could be a spirit animal. This could be an ancestor that you've met, haven't met. Okay, this could be someone that you're not even considering a loved one. It could be someone in your soul family you haven't met. So keep an open mind, okay? The messaging should resonate with something, though that's going to be something resonating for your what you need to hear or know or connect to. But the individual, and maybe someone who, we're not expecting to hear from, but it could be someone very familiar as well. It could be your high self coming through with a message for you. So how we'll know is I'm going to pull who that person is energetically, okay? And if you recognize that energy, even if you don't, the messaging in the back end is what they're wanting to communicate to you. And this is why I want you to keep an open mind, okay? So we'll look at who this person is and then what it is that they're wanting you to know or what they're wanting to communicate to you. And I'll put the timestamps below. This will be a pick a card or pick a deck reading. I'll get into your options shortly. And I will see you guys at the deck selection. Hello, gorgeous angels. 3 options to choose from for this reading. 3 decks. Option number 1, we have the Tarot Obscuro. Option number 2, we have the Spirit Speak Tarot deck. And option number 3, we have the Prisma. No, why do I call everything a Prisma? Dream Vision Tarot. My goodness. I only have one. No, never mind. Dream Visions Tarot. All right. So with this energy, and like I said, keep an open mind, because this could be somebody that's in your world already or someone you haven't met already, and someone who's crossed over. Okay. It doesn't have to be even a human, could be an animal, could be a guardian of sorts. Okay. Unworldly being, an ancestor, whoever pulls through here with this message for you. Okay. So, yeah, when you're ready, select from the timestamp below, and we will describe who this person is and what they want to say to you. Pile 1. I totally forgot to include these in the beginning part for those of you guys that are really interested in the decks I use. Okay, these were sort of a last minute pull. Persona and Personita. Okay, for the decks I'll be using. So I just put them here so I don't forget to show you guys. So you guys pick the Tarot Obscuro, option number 1, and we're looking at a loved one that's coming through with a message for you. And we don't know who has messages for us. Okay, this could be an ancestor, this could be a spirit animal, this could be a guardian angel, this could be a guide, this could be your higher self, this could be someone we're in no contact with, this could be an ancestor, this could be someone you're talking to regularly. Okay, so just keep an open mind. We're going to look at who this is, what they want to say, and we'll use the tarot to sort of pull on the information as well. So let's get into this energy, shall we? Also, I want to make mention, okay, I don't know if I did, but I want to get it sort of out there that I am running a promotion on prairievintagejewelry.com. For those of you guys interested in saving 35% off all jewelry and private readings, if you enter in code SUNSHINE35, SUNSHINE 35, from now till the end of March, you save 35% off. I'll put all that information below. Thank you so much for those of you guys who do support me and this channel. I do appreciate it very much. So we have Innocence, a beautiful 98 and 8 with virtue growth level. It says self-kindness, vulnerability, sincerity, sensitivity, authenticity. Self-weakness accepted. Type 8, the challenger instinctive center between strength and weakness. And we see the black here, which generally represents Pluto energy or shadow energy, subconscious energy. Okay, so 8 is the number of movement, change, attainment, and leadership, abundance, goals. Leo and Aquarius energy pulling through. We have this card right here, which I'll be reading intuitively. Okay, now certainly if these people look familiar to you, this might trigger some sort of intuition on who it could be. So you can definitely run with that as well, but not necessarily, okay, because it's really the energy that I'm reading here to channel the information for you. And I'm the channeler. So I'm going to channel who this is. Okay, and then we have this person right here. So this is the Personita, this is the Persona deck, if you're interested in what these decks are. And these beautiful blue eyes really standing out here. And this person has brown eyes. Fascinating. All right. And then we have the anglerfish. This is a new deck for me. Okay, we have the number 3. I think it's a 3. Is that a 3? Yes. So 3s are all about growth, relationships, initial success, creativity, communication, joy, self-expression. Fishes do talk about abundance. This looks like a piranha. It says anglerfish. And its teeth. I've never seen teeth as well in this smile. Interesting. And here we're not seeing any teeth. Okay, so here we have the empty room, number 42. And we also have the child wounded. Light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Okay, and like I said, this is a new deck for me. I'll do this like this. I'm going to just take a peek at this although I will be reading it intuitively always first, but the author obviously has an energy that's they ascribe to this. So it says this symbiotic strategy. Deep below the waterline, there are magics and imaginings. Adapting to this strange territory requires unique mechanisms. The quiet here magnifies movement. Interesting, because we said 8 was all about movement here. Okay. Requires movement, and you are fiercely aware of the shifts of your surroundings, in your surroundings. You journey with the light of your own making, but its glow is an attractor, not a guide. Would-be mates, nurturers, and predators come to this dangling beacon, distracted, curious, and disarmed by novelty. You are happy to be misunderstood and underestimated. While you make your assessment, is this being friend or foe? Is this being a friend or foe? You're fascinated by those who are enthralled by your light. You observe their charms, vulnerabilities, protections, and interactions, and absorb them all. You choose what to show to yourself. You choose what to show of yourself while closely studying the responses of those in your spotlight. At a hint of judgment or cruelty, the retreat to shadows can be so swift it will be as if what was revealed never existed. But you remember the reactions, the micro-expressions, and the changes in the tone that preceded them. There is no next time as you recognize the signs of trouble earlier than most. You test and trial and incorporate all you learn into your current strategies. Even the most skillfully crafted mechanisms have their limits, and when you reach yours, you will mine all you have witnessed to modify your systems. Your fallback is logic and independence. While you're attentive to trust, you are part of the whole. As you feel, all you know, even your light, are the result of symbiotic connections. There is no usual response to an atypical situation or environment. Ingenious mechanisms support you as you learn to recognize, navigate, and respond to threats. Through the same processes, you build confidence in your ability to identify the wonders and the weirdness of the world. Time is your friend. There will be those who see you and let you see them. Perhaps you have found them already. They may have had their own strange journeys and developed ways of taking on a world that seemed bigger than themselves. In this way, an ever-growing number of select beings will swim and adapt with you and add to your life. Okay, sorry, that was long, but that's okay, because like I said, it's my first time reading this book or connecting with these cards in a reading like this. So let me sit here with this energy to describe who that is. But interesting, I was talking about the shadow here, and we got shadow, although innocence. Okay, so let me get a wand. What wand do I want to use for this reading? Do I want the feather wand? No. Sorry, I want this wand right here. Okay. You guys can definitely skip ahead, okay? All right. Beautiful angel, I do feel for this group. This does feel like someone you would classify as a family member that I think either raised you, a guardian. Doesn't have to be your mother or father. It does feel like a mother-father figure, though. It really does. Okay. But it could be like an aunt who raised you, or a sister who raised you, or something like this. It seems like a guardian. Doesn't have to be feminine, but a caregiver or provider. Okay, could even be a teacher, maybe that you were really close with, that maybe went above and beyond their role. Okay, but it had some helping hand in raising who you are. I do feel, okay, this is who this person is, and there's some of their messaging already coming through, but I'm going to sort of see if I could pull more about, that's who they are, for sure. Okay, I don't necessarily, like, this is an interesting energy, because although they feel like they raised you, I don't know that this person was, I want to say related to you, but that could be part of the messaging here. Okay. Yeah, or like maybe you're very different than this person is kind of what it seemed, or you had This is part of the messaging. It's channeling and I can't hold it back, okay? So we're getting into the messaging already because I was trying to just keep this separate as who this person was and then their messaging. So we'll elaborate on their messaging, but the messaging is already sort of coming through here. Regardless if you were blood related or not, because for some of you guys, this person might have not have been blood related to you, okay, and that's just knowing who it is. But if they were, it's like this person sees you as someone who was a lot different than them. But I think this was a lot of a seeing the best in you that they couldn't see in themselves in some way. And so they admired parts of you, okay, that they could see about you. And it's there almost feels like a heaviness or a guilt here in regards to their capacity to nurture all of you, because there seems to be a desire to give you everything that they want to be able to support you, but maybe they were very limited with how to support parts of you that they might have not fully understood, or parts of you that wasn't familiar to them because they might have been very different, or they were unable to provide you with the better things or the greater things here. There seems to be admiration for you. And it's like when I didn't know how to, or if I didn't have what to give to you or what to say to you or what to provide in the moment to nurture you or to progress you, I sort of maybe didn't do what I was supposed to. And in some instances, maybe I reacted or said certain things that might have contradicted how I actually felt or the benefit of supporting you. So maybe you felt like I didn't care at times, or maybe you thought I didn't notice certain things about you. Because I feel like this person did notice a lot about you that maybe you need to hear, that like maybe they didn't realize that I was unique in this way, or they thought my being like that was a burden or weird, or they didn't see this part of me, or I don't know, because it seems like you were trying to be yourself, okay? Because I do feel like this person might have known you when you were like growing up or still forming yourself. And I do feel this is in a very influential time in your life, you know, where you're very moldable. So they had a hand in molding who you are. And so I feel like this messaging is coming through almost as I had a lot of power to be involved and mold you, and maybe I didn't quite know what to do with that power or that influence. And because you were so moldable and innocent, and I could feel this energy about you, it's like I didn't know that I was, you know, maybe a learned enough caregiver to handle that or to make the best of it. So I could do the best that I could do. It feels like somebody who might have been really brought up in a certain way too, or their own tradition or their own beliefs. So it does seem to be, like I said, if this wasn't a family member, it's like a different culture. And so it's like I can't project my culture sort of onto you, or just the big age gap. You know, sometimes our parents could be much older than us, you know? So it's like my lifestyle or my upbringing was very different, or I come from an old country and here we moved or we migrated somewhere, and this country is a lot different. So it feels like, you know, so there could be like a 40 age gap between you and this person even, you know, or they were much older than you or something like this. And it's like sometimes we give into traditions and religion or cultural things more than we do to the humanity of the child or what the child needs. And that's what it seems as. It's like you might have needed more from me and I wanted to give you more. And you might have took what I was doing as something that was maybe trying to change you or tell you that you weren't good enough, or I don't know, to contradict you or to harm you. And that's not what I was trying to do at all. But now that I look back on it, so it could be somebody who is now older and just seeing this or understanding this intuitively or on a higher level, or someone who has crossed over and hasn't had the chance to tell you. Okay. Or I don't know if it's an adoptive parent, because it could feel like this too. Okay. Or a teacher that was involved in your formative years and then you moved schools or wherever. But whatever it was, it seems to be like I didn't get the chance to correct that understanding you had of me and why I was saying or doing what I was saying or doing for you. And I wish I could have done more for you. And there is also an understanding that you maybe didn't have a lot to work with. So I don't know if you grew up sort of limited in some way, maybe financially your family was limited, or just, I don't know. Or like I said, is very formative years where you weren't quite molded. And it's like this person understands that they could have done more. Maybe they could have spent more time with you, or supporting this curious nature of you, or supporting your creativity, or being more flexible with your potential, even. And so there's like, I hope I didn't scar you. I hope you can be all that you can be. I hope that my years with you, or my raising of you, or my involvement of you, it didn't taint you or hold back your potential in this world when you're older, when you can do things. This person feels very protective of you. I do feel like this person felt like a safe person to you, regardless of this sort of rigid way of them thinking, okay, because they could definitely be projecting, this rigid way of how they brought you up. Or it does seem to be like a person who maybe said less in times, maybe when you wanted them to congratulate you, or like when we want to hear like, good job, son, or good job, daughter, or way to go, or I'm very proud of you. This is someone who says, I didn't say how I really felt at all times, that I was proud of you. I was in awe of you. I admired you. I knew you had lots of potential. There was, I could see that you were going to create whatever it was that you wanted to, because really you carried the ability to drive something. Like they see that you were very, nothing was going to stop you, when you're older, to create something or to build something that could be very powerful, or could be very impactful to the universe, to the world, or even something I was not able to do. So I was never able to maybe be as creative or start my own business, and I knew you would. Something like this, okay? Or I never had the know-how, maybe, of even raising a family, and maybe you were sort of down that path and I knew you'd be a better parent, or maybe you were going in the same footsteps as me, I don't know, to raise a family or to be a teacher or something like this. Doesn't have to be those things, okay? But the energy is like this. It's like you could do it better than me, and I knew that you'd be like a more evolved version of a human than I could have been on this earth, because I was limited. Now, I don't feel this person's making excuses, saying that they did what they did and that's it. It's almost like, I wish I could have given you more. I wish I understood then that when my silence was there, that I could have supported better, and that this silence, or this lack of reinforcement by not saying anything, because maybe they weren't shutting you down or knocking you down, okay, but this non-involved, okay, this could be someone who's very busy too, like didn't attend your sports games, or didn't provide you with all the riches in some way. It's like I could have been involved with your sports, or what you were doing, or what you were when you were brought up, and rather I was removed from that whole thing, and I miss it. I regret it in some way, and I just want you to know, because I don't feel it's so much regret, but it's like, I really need you to know. I want you to know that didn't mean that I didn't care, or that I didn't see that side of you, that you were a great ball player or a great artist, or a child here who had so much potential, or a person who would be able to create something that's had meaning in this world. And I admire this whole thing. And it kind of was frozen with, what do I do with this? And I don't want to maybe guide you down the wrong direction, or I'm not in a position to do anything that'll derail you or burst your bubble in any sort of way here. And all I know is what I know, you know? So I do feel like this person is someone here who is understanding in hindsight, maybe their shortcomings in involving themselves with you, and when they might have negatively sort of I don't know, like by either not getting as involved, or saying or doing certain things in your upbringing that might have appeared one way because they were maybe more concerned with, you know, like I said, their tradition or their upbringing. So let's take a look at what this message is. It seems very interesting. And there is concern here, like, did this impact you? Is it, you know, making you sort of act in a certain way as an adult now because you've your understanding of that experience has sort of molded something about you or how you see yourself. And I hope it's not in a negative way. Alrighty, let's see. In perspective 35. Yeah, like hopefully hasn't impacted your understanding of the world. Okay, Hangman energy, but another 8. So we got some Leo, some Pisces, and some Aquarius. Crows are messengers from between worlds. Okay, they could symbolize death. So this could be someone who's crossed over for sure, but doesn't have to be. Okay, Scorpio is also pulling through. Yeah, look at this grief. So it's like a funeral here. Like I said, someone crossed over. 22 is a master number. Peacemaker, diplomacy, healthy energetic boundaries, and divinely guided relationships. So all these crows here, the mourning, the death of a loved one here. Okay, so number 4, more Scorpio energy and Aries energy as well. Divine masculine energy pulling through. Red rose. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Red rose. Rosa indica cruenta. I don't know if I'm reading that right. Cruenta. It says hidden secrets. 3 things can... This is hard to read with this glare. 3 things cannot be long hidden. The sun, the moon, and the truth. Buddha. Wow. A rose to me always talks about romance, okay? Love. Yeah, there's something about an authentic love here, okay? All of these dandelion seeds talk about wishes. And then we have poppies, which could talk about the past. Okay, this card's definitely giving me past. It's a 5-cup energy, even a 6-cup energy here with poppies. It's like a childhood is really what I'm feeling here. Okay, and then we have win or lose with the sword in the ground. It's number 5. So I was saying this was giving me a 5-cup energy. 5 here, 5, 5 is a master number. I know this isn't 5, but it's giving me the energy. Change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated change. And 5s are all about conflict, loss, change, rebuild. 5 is Hierophant, so that could be, again, tradition, upbringing, beliefs. Okay, like some higher power that's sort of trying to tell us what to do or be, win, lose. Sort of the right way, the wrong way, and that Hierophant energy. This is how we do it. This is how we don't do it. You know, at the expense of maybe a greater truth or not seeing or understanding or authenticity. Someone's coming through about your authenticity. You know, maybe they feel they stifled you or they didn't let your true nature come through. This is sort of a win-lose mentality, okay? You're ruled by a Hierophant energy. So Roadrunner, transform your energy. That's this crow energy with transformation. Roadrunner, transform your energy. And then we have walking away. 27 for the number 9. So some Virgo, Cancer energy. And we have exchanging gifts with another 27. Look at that. 2 different decks. And we got 27, 27. So if you're seeing that as an angel number, okay, or just Google what that means. For those of you guys who can put in the comments, that does help me to see what I'm channeling here. I'm curious to see what's 2727, an angel number, in Google. What is the meaning of that, 2727? Okay, but 99 is a master number, being the change you wish to see and helping humanity to release what no longer works. So again, that Hierophant energy, what no longer works because it's not in line with authenticity and truth. Okay, and like I said, there was this 55 energy, which is change is the only constant. So being the change you wish to see to help humanity release what no longer serves. So what is their message to you? Let me dive into this energy. Interesting. The truth cannot be hidden. Exchanging gifts. Okay, a beautiful angel. This person's messaging did come through already here, and I feel it here as well. Okay, but there's more sort of information here. Like I said, this could be somebody who's crossed over. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so much. This feels like somebody who feels like they feel like they didn't do all that they could to support a certain aspect of yourself that maybe was true. You know, you could have had an authentic version of you, maybe a curious version of you, or a dream version of you that wanted to run with something or do certain things. And they might have said, we don't do that, or we don't, that doesn't align with what we can do or what we can support you with, we as in whatever. It seems to be somebody here who is now noticing that they could have had a greater impact in supporting this wild nature of yours because it's more in line with some form of a truth, so that you can go after your dreams. And it's like, I really hope that my involvement with you, however influential it was, didn't create a version of you that doesn't believe in yourself. And that whatever version of you that's true to you, I want you to roll with that, believe in that, run with that, and understand that about you, because I wasn't there to maybe nurture it or understand it myself. I might still not even understand it, you know? So how could I support it, or how could I give you advice or something like this? So there is this looking back on what I wasn't able to give to you or do for you, and understanding that there's a vision or a dream of a version of you that you might have. And I don't know what it is. Maybe, like I said, you want to open up your own business, or maybe there's a creative passion or desire or pursuit, or a child dream that you are sort of struggling with now. And this is why it's relevant. It's like, maybe I'm not good enough to get it done, or maybe it's not unique enough to follow this thing, or maybe I don't have the strength to, or the know-how or the belief in myself to make the following changes in order to pursue this thing. And so you might be kind of borderline, or giving up on a dream, or doubting your ability to make an impact. And this person's saying, I believe in you. And this person is saying, do what you can here to support this dream, even if it means like, you know, like having to shift from those beliefs that maybe were instilled in you. Maybe you have beliefs that, you know, to be doing things ethically or morally or traditionally, I have to do something. You might have a belief of this sort, like with the Hierophant energy, or else I'm not going to be doing it proper or right by my standard or how I was brought up, because it goes against how I was brought up. And this person is saying, no, like, there's nothing against anything other than going against your truth. And this truth that they're seeing here is your ability to drive something, you know, like your own energy to create this new thing. But I think it does require you to leave a part of your world behind, or make a major change that you might be questioning and doubting, and saying like, well, I'd have to, I don't know, you're seeing it as a loss maybe, or even like connecting it back again to this upbringing that's given you this perspective of how you'd have to be and what's right and what's wrong. and what's going to be winning and what's going to be losing, or what you need to sort of hitch your own energy to. And this person is saying, no, don't have those beliefs, sever that understanding. That's not true. The truth is in your true nature, and I believe that you can accomplish something here. That's the truth. And that this change, okay, that once you believe in this whole thing and make that decision that you're struggling with, or that might be very difficult, you're going to succeed at whatever this is, and you're going to be able to deliver something here to the collective, or to humanity, or to make major change to the world. And this is what you are meant to do. And so I guess this person maybe karmically is like, I don't want to have any involvement in why you're sort of held back or staying put. I want to see you flourish. I want to see you progress. I don't want to see you stuck. And I don't want to see you sort of torn between your dream and where you are at because of something I might have told you, or some impact I might have had in your decision making. And so sit with this newer understanding of truth, that you are capable and that you have the ability to do that thing. Okay, whatever your thing is here that they see, that you're not sort of pursuing. Because like I said, I felt a romantic energy, but romantic could be like, romanticizing some vision, some dreams, some childhood things, like, whoa, I'm like, I really want to go after being, whatever, singer, actor, dancer, whatever. This thing that's like, you might think it's romanticized in some way, or it's just some sort of fantasy dream that can't be a reality. And it's like, don't water it down or downplay it or say it's not possible here for you. Yeah, don't give up on your dream, essentially. So it's a beautiful message. Now let's just pull the tarot and see, okay, to close this out. Spirit, is there anything I'm missing regarding pile one's beloved person that's coming through here? What is it that this person wants pile number one to know? Am I missing anything? Am I missing about who this is or what they want to communicate for pile one? Thank you so much to whoever this person that's come through here with this messaging for you, pile one. Okay, they do support you in this transition, because I do feel like in order for you to go after this dream, I feel like it's requiring you to maybe risk something, maybe leave something behind. Okay, it does feel like death energy, which is transformation, releasing. So this is a special card in the stack with this heart lock. Okay, so I do, like I said, the rose gave me this, something that speaks to your heart, because it's full of like, you have love for this thing, but it's like locked, because it's like, I can't let myself go there. I can't, maybe you don't know how it's going to, I don't know. It feels like you're the one that can control whether you follow it or open this or chase this, or the Lovers in reverse, destined path. Yes. This person's saying this is for you. Okay. This experience, whatever the vision is that you have with the Lovers, it's a choice that you're not deciding to pursue, or that it hasn't been fully, you haven't gone down this path just yet, but it is something that really, really is connected to your heart and really is destined for you. And there's permission. I don't know if you were waiting for permission from this person, or wanting to know, is this person going to back me in this? It's like, yes, but right now I see that you're not allowing it, or it's still not open. Okay, Two Pentacles, decision, and Star, Aquarius energy. But this again is like a vision of your purpose. It is your destined path. And you might feel Two Pentacle, because it's like, I don't have X, or you're going back and forth, but I have to also risk this thing or do this other thing. It's Two Pentacles is like, we don't have the resource, or we're sort of going back and forth, or we're sort of maybe trapped in an up down or a back forth, or humming and hawing, or like undecided in some way of how it would be that we would follow this star, this dream. And so this person is saying, like, the choice is with you. What else is this person saying? So we have Gemini. I'm feeling Aquarius energy here. What does this person want pile number 1 to know about this? We have the Queen of Swords in reverse, and then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. So 2 queens here. And I feel like queens are definitely like feminine energy. We feel all this pink here too, which is feminine energy with exchanging gifts, which is all about giving and receiving. Okay, but I feel like the universe has something to receive from you. And I feel like you might not see yet, because there's like I don't see and I don't understand quite yet the information I need. Okay, but this person is saying, like, you already are in a position here that would succeed at whatever it is that you are doing, even if you're maybe waiting for some information or some clarity, because I don't know, maybe logically it doesn't come together, or you're not sure how it would come together, because there's a lot of questions about this thing. Maybe you've even given up on your vision and you're sort of here, you know, playing small or catering maybe to others or running some other thing here where it's like this person saying, entertain that dream, chase your star, like pursue this thing, make it a vision for you. Don't shut it down. It is a possibility. It's a choice that you can make here. Don't write it off. 6 of Swords. Yeah, this person senses that you're stuck somewhere in your world right now, okay? And then the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. So here's this beautiful coin. So this person senses, okay, that you are in a situation right now, and you could be, I don't know, martyring yourself or sacrificing yourself or giving of yourself, maybe for the greater good of all. You know, how sometimes a mother will, you know, obviously, I mean, our commitment is to our family and to do a certain thing, but I mean, our children are always going to be our children. And so if we sort of put ourselves behind everyone and everything, even our job or family or whatever, for the greater good here, and we sort of shut down our dream or vision or something because it's like, this is how I was brought up, or I'm doing the right thing here. And yes, it's honorable definitely to step into our responsibility, but when we're not in line with our purpose to the universe, then we're actually doing a disservice here. And this person's saying your vision, your dream of what I thought you could do and be is still there, and I don't want you to give up on it. I want you to follow it. I don't want you to feel stuck. I don't want you to feel pressured or responsible for others, or that you're, you know, that you have to maybe even make your world around you to provide for yourself or your family or your environment in the same manner that you have. And that's the only way to provide. That there's another way, and it could make you happier, and it could be more destined. It's more purposeful. It's more meaningful. And I could see this happening for you. Do you see it too? Don't give up on it, you know, and that you have this ability. So it's really about believing in you, wanting you to follow your dreams and pursue this thing, and then saying, like, I want you to know that I didn't want to make you feel like you couldn't, or to help you in the hand of developing this story that maybe you believe about yourself, about who you can be and what you can do, because it's not necessarily true here. And so if you want something, go after it. Okay. Pile 1, this is your reading. Beautiful reading. I hope this helped you. Like I said, we have Queen of Pentacles, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, the Queen of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini coming through here, and then all the other signs that I was sort of reading on my way here, which there was a lot of Scorpios, some Pisces, also Aquarius was picking up here. Okay, and Leo, I think, was coming through strong as well. All right, so I hope this helped you. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 2. You guys picked the Spirit Speak Tarot deck, and I brought these decks over here because I included them in part of this reading that sort of came as a last minute, but I didn't show these decks for those of you guys interested in the cards I'm using. Okay, so yeah, that's the persona and the personita. So we're going to dive into this person who I'm calling someone who wants to communicate with you, a beloved, okay, someone who might want to message you for whatever reason. This could be, like I mentioned, someone you haven't met, okay, and this is describing who this is, okay, but it could be someone you have met, but it could be an ancestor, it could be a guardian angel, could be a spirit guide, an animal guide, it could be your higher self, it could be someone you're in no contact with, someone you talk to every day, and for whatever reason they haven't communicated, whatever this is, okay, so this will describe them, and then this will sort of be their message, and we'll use the tarot to clarify what this is. So I didn't make mention in the beginning, but I do want to mention for those of you guys interested in a private reading or antique vintage jewelry, there is a promotion on my website, prairievintagejewelry.com, where you can save 35% off. If you enter in the code Sunshine35, save 35% off, entering the code SUNSHINE 35 from now till the end of March. All right, so let's take a look at who this person is. All right, so we have 27 and 9. Oh my goodness. Avoidance and ego level dispute. Confrontation, villain role, quarrel, breakup, divergency, and make a choice. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself with the solar plexus. So 9 is fruition, completion, fulfillment, the wisdom, and closure. That is Virgo and Cancer energy, okay? And then we have compartmentation. I have a hard time saying that word. Compartmentation, 32 and 5. So we have some Taurus and some Sagittarius energy here, okay, with the throat chakra with the blue. It says fragmentation, isolation, division, cleavage, lowering, separation. Okay, so we're seeing breakup, separation here. Interesting. Could be someone you've had a falling out with for sure. So far coming through, but we'll see. It says type 5, the observer, thinking center between interior and exterior. Remember, I haven't seen or picked these cards, so for me it's always very fascinating when they're sort of reinforcing themselves here. I just heard Victorian. I don't know if someone's name is Victor, Victoria, something about the Victorian era, 1900s. That's interesting. So I thought I heard my phone go off. And then we have this lady here. It's looking very seductive. Okay, I'll be reading this energy sort of intuitively. Interesting. She doesn't look like she's wearing a top. And then we have this little girl right here. Very cute. She's biting her lip. Looking very innocent. All right, and then we have this card right here. And it says Galago. Number 1. Now, I don't know what a Galago is, but this is a new deck to me. So I'm going to read this, okay? You definitely could skip ahead, but a Galago, darkness, and by thy playground. There may be an earthen path that requires no more than one steady footfall ahead of another to make it through this darkness, if it exists at all. It was lost along the light. You can stumble through a ground maze until you chance across it. I have no idea what I just read. I was completely somewhere else. My goodness. There may be an earthen path that requires no more than one steady footfall ahead of another to make it through this darkness. If it exists at all, it was lost along the light. You can stumble through a ground maze until you chance across it, or you can say farewell to two-dimensional progress. Don your night goggles, oil your joints, and bound upward to transform the night forest into your playground. Your pinpointed location may seem unchanged, but your new height will transform your world completely. As you adjust your sights to the changing light, a clear course emerges. The way is not straight and narrow, but a three-dimensional crisscross of accents, leaps, drops, sidesteps, and scurries, punctuated by stillness and pause. In these quiet moments, taken at the peaks of your journey. You survey your surroundings and plot the next sequence from batch, branch, trunk, and cluster to the next. You rest, observe, and ponder, so that when a pipe, not as strong as expected, snaps under your weight, you have the momentum, flexibility, and reach to land safely on another. The darkness obscures all that lies beneath you, but you leap with faith in yourself, knowing that with each firm hold, you already have the impetus to reach for the next. When you fall, it is always forward. When you come to the ground, it is nimbly from the lowest of the branches, and you are soon scooting up the nearest rise to your elevated perspective once more. Your progress may be swift and surprising, but never panicked or erratic. The steam-filled canopy provides safe holds where you can catch your breath and carefully consider your next series of moves. My goodness. I'm seeing that meme with all the lasers, and then the person sort of going through it, saying, this is me trying to step around someone's personality or something like this. My goodness. So travel light to keep your hands and mind free. You may feel you're leaving something behind. It be it an ability, an interest, a friendship, an opportunity, or a part of yourself. Oh my goodness, look at this thing over here. Okay, however, it is not abandoned, but parked. And you'll be able to swing back and pick up what you left off once you have explored your new surroundings. Somewhere amidst your backs and forths and ups and downs, you join a network of night navigators, softly and effortlessly helping others through their own darkness. Oh my goodness, that's so tiring. That whole thing made me exhausted. All right, Thief. Wow, what a reading. Pile number 2. Light attributes. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attributes. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Wow, wow, widdly wow. The vision. Number 55. 55 is a master number. I think this came out for pile 1. Okay, change is the only constant. Divinely orchestrated change. We see 2 owls. I'm really getting air energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, we see a mountain here. Yesterday's reading had mountains in it, I think, for pile number 3. And this is sort of feeling 3-ish from yesterday's reading or this morning's reading. Whenever you saw that reading I did. Last one. Right before this one. The vision. The vision. Wow, okay. Interesting. Let me sit here and channel this. Where's my wand? Is this the energy of who this is? Okay. No. That feels better. All right. Okay. Pile number 2. This is an exhausting sort of energy here, okay? I do feel for this group. This person is somebody here who's really sort of challenging you all around, you know? Maybe testing your patience, pulling out certain sides of you. I do feel as someone intellectually you're equal, you know? It doesn't necessarily mean that they are doing everything sort of by the book here, but there does seem to be 2 souls, if you want to call it, okay? You and this person here who's wanting to communicate something with you, that are learning lessons through an experience that you're going through with this person. This seems to be, for some of you guys, maybe even like going in circles, not getting anywhere, a push-pull. This person could seem very strategic. This person could seem like they're sort of more concerned with themselves even at times. It could be very defensive here. This might be pulling a lot of your own sort of energy to figure out who this person's about and what they want maybe with you, or what their intention is with you, or you know, if you should even, like what you should do about this person in your world, because it's like, is my life more fulfilled with this person or more drained here with someone who I can't seem to pierce? It seems very difficult to pierce this person, you know, but I feel like this interaction with this person feels like it's a much needed experience, although we might find it very, very, very challenging, stuck even, you know. So if it's someone who just seems like they're not changing or moving, or it seems like one step forward, 2 steps back, or one moment we're talking, one minute we're not. There seems to be maybe even a period of no contact here with this person for a lot of you guys now, okay? Or you could be in contact, but you're used to having fallouts, resistance, disappointments with this person. This person also seems like they could be very avoidant of speaking their truth or withholding communication from you. It's like, why aren't you being completely honest? Or why aren't you telling me certain things, you know? Or even, why are you sort of putting me in certain, I don't know, like I was going to say certain, coming to me in certain times that maybe are convenient. Maybe you think this, okay? I'm not saying that this is what they're saying, but I do feel there's a feeling maybe used by this person, or only, what's it called? Opportunistic, or like, like they'll come to you when it's like convenient, an opportunity of convenience, or a relationship of convenience, maybe you think here. I do feel you really do feel drained by this person. I do feel like this person is someone here who could really be like a taker of energy. So it could be vampiric, or it could just be somebody here who is learning lessons about themselves. And so when you guys engage together, there's a chemistry that happens beyond anyone's sort of control when certain sides of us come out that challenges us, because I feel like it's very challenging, you know, but we can't help but feel taken for a ride or used, or like this person is someone here who just, it could be very exhausting, hard to keep up, hard to read, hard to keeping withholding again, you know, or just taking for themselves in some way. And for some of you guys, you might feel like, I don't know if you've experienced like, just when I feel I can trust this person, or maybe be vulnerable with this person, or give of myself to this person, or show certain aspects of myself to this person, then I feel used in some way. Or again, like, I'm not quite sure, because I do feel that they have some sort of intrigue on you, or some sort of ability. It could be someone who's captured your heart, you know, and you feel like, man, like I would do sort of anything for this person in some way, or I have, but yet this person might seem like they don't feel the way I feel, or they're easily sort of protected in some way here, by their own energy that they're protecting themselves. And so you might feel very vulnerable or exposed around this person. For a lot of you guys, I do feel there's this desire, like a sexual desire towards this person, or there could have been at some point, okay? Some part of you, I think, that wanted to trust this person. This could be somebody early on that you might have wanted to date even, you know, or like you were interested in them sexually or physically or chemistry wise at one point. I don't know if it has shifted or what has happened here, but I do feel like there is this overcoming challenge with this person that seems almost insurmountable. It seems very much like maybe this person seems very fixed to you, or the obstacle seems very challenging with this person, you know, like we're always arguing, or just there, we're just not, it's like oil and vinegar. We just can't see the same goal. Like maybe you guys both want to work together, but it's like we're on two different pages. I feel I always read for this energy, you know. You guys are like, why is it always the same reading? I don't know. Don't ask me. I keep coming here and I'm reading it exactly as I see it, you know. It's like, where can we go? How can we work together? How can we overcome this? And it's almost like Spirit is testing these two souls to come to some sort of agreement, to work together, to see this vision, to come on the same page, to support each other. And I feel there is love for each other here, okay? Because why would we involve ourselves with this? There seems to be love. There seems to be a desire to support coming from both sides, even if we're not seeing it or understanding it. It's like, I want to support you. I want to understand you. I want to see your vision, but I don't know that I have the same one, or I'm seeking to understand what you see, or I want to know what it is that you know, or why it is that you do what you do. You know, this is how this person seems involved in your world. I just feel like you feel tired and drained, and by this experience, you know, maybe it's not necessarily the person, but this person represents a point in your world where energy is going towards this lesson of sorts. I think you're very cautious now too of this person, like what I say or how I act or what I do. There's a lot of hesitation or a lot of analyzing, or like, I'm just going to sort of keep quiet and watch what this person does, what they say. So it could be somebody who's already taken you for a ride, or just you're questioning their integrity maybe, because it's like you've already fucked me over, or you're already proven something to me, or I'm waiting for you to show me something, because there seems to be an observing, I'm waiting, show me. I'm seeing weird orbs here. Weird. I wonder if it's showing up on the camera. Okay. So yeah, like I don't know. And so then when we observe, it's like then this person's sort of observing us. Seems like someone who's all up in our business in some way, because energetically they're like, what are you doing? They're watching you, they're laser focused on you, they're really intent on you, you know? But then it's like, but they're clinging to something in their world. So much so it's like, well, what's with this laser focus on this thing? It's too also feels like someone maybe who's very stuck as well. So maybe try to help this person. It's like move or get out of your spot. Maybe they're in a comfort zone, or maybe they're like used to something that they're attached to or cling to, or what they know, familiar, where they feel safe, where they feel protected or secure in some way. But it feels cold. Like this person does feel cold, you know? So it's like, and you feel warm. You feel human. This person seems almost like robotic, almost like defensive, non-emotional is even coming through here, according to maybe how you're seeing them. Okay, so that you know who this is. Like, oh, they're too cold, they're too non-emotional, they're too strategic, they're too in their mind, but you know that they're focused on you, or that they're, I don't know, observing you, or they always have their eye on you. Maybe they're like, you know, all up in your business. You're just like observing you on social media. Maybe they follow you if you have some form of social media presence. I feel this person's very intense. I feel they have very intense eyes. Okay, but it could be symbolic of how they like feel about you, because there seems to be an intensity, a staring at you and observing and seeing you, you know, but it's like, what does that mean? Do you like what you see? It's like they're trying to figure you out. And there seems to be two energies, like you and them sort of looking at each other. That's what I'm getting, but it's like figuring each other out. It's like, who's going to talk first? Who's going to apologize first? Or who's going to make the first move? Or who's going to be vulnerable first? Or who's going to show up first? Like there's a lot of this sort of an energy. So it's like, are you going to decide to say the truth? Are you going to make a choice to be yourself? Are you going to make a choice to drop your armor? And I feel like you've dropped your armor, or like you've been vulnerable, or that you've been exposed, or that you've been true. And then it's like, well, now I just wait and see if this person, you know, retaliates, or what they do about their position. It seems to be a very stuck sort of energy here. So if you resonate with all that energy that I'm channeling, okay, then we're going to see what they want to say. And like I said, for signs, we had Virgo, Cancer, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that was coming through. Yeah. And that's what I'm feeling from this energy, but we might get more from the other, okay? Oh boy. It does seem like there needs to be words said too, you know? Maybe they owe you an apology. Maybe they're not being communicating with you their truths like that because they're defensive. So let's see then. What do they want to say here? What's their message? Regeneration 46. And so this is the number 10. 10 syllable completion, ends of cycle, transformation, Leo energy. Then we have 43, sacred space, with the nest here, and it looks like robin eggs because they're blue. I don't know if crow eggs are blue. Robin eggs are certainly this blue. And these crows are looking at the eggs. Is it their children? I don't know, because if this robin eggs, it doesn't belong to the crow, but are crow eggs blue? I'm just curious to know. But the blue is giving me this authentic self-expression. Oops, not that one. This one here. It's like waiting for someone to say something, I feel, you know? You're waiting for them to speak their truth. But I feel there again, there's this energy. I said they're either in their comfort zone or in their protected space, but it seemed cold here, but here's like, I'm safe and protected. Maybe something you're nurturing here, because a nest is safe and nurtured, but it also looks thorny here. 7, Chariot and Tower energy. So we have some Cancer energy. And then we have tuberose. Tuberose? And I don't know how to read the Polthiantius tuberosa. It says, dangerous pleasure. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness of the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Friedrich Nietzsche. Okay, so interesting here with this feeling that's a devilly, seductive sort of energy that I was saying there. Maybe there was a pull or a seduction here to this energy. Maybe it's someone you were you had chemistry with or felt a pull, but it's like, oh, you're going to be dangerously not good for me in some way here with this 16 rebuild, regeneration, rebuild. Remember, I don't pull these cards. And so when they sort of support each other, it's interesting, So 16 here is Tower. Then I was getting Tower from the 7. Rebuild. Regeneration. Okay. Wow. And then Horse. Embrace new adventure. And then the white horse is liberation, freedom, independence. Okay, but purity, the authentic self. So only the authentic self, when it comes online, can it free itself. When it speaks its truth, when it goes after sort of this truth that it wants to claim, then it is free. Not sort of held back here. Embrace a new adventure. So a rebuild and a regeneration is something new coming online here. Okay, and then 31, door to value, or the number 4. 4 is Emperor energy, Aries and Scorpio energy. We have structure, foundation, stability, planning with the 4. Okay, material reality and problem solving, which I feel is the big one here, because we were supposed to sort of, solve the problem we keep having with each other here, because I feel there was conflict, a dispute we couldn't resolve. We can't get on the same page. Let me do it like this. Door to value. Okay, let me tap into this energy, this message that this person wants to say to you. Okay, pile number 2. This person does want to create something with you, okay? This is what they want to tell you. And I do feel like in order to create something with this person, it has to start from sort of the ground up, because I think there was a harsh beginning, like a harsh beginning as in, like, I don't know, they failed you or they tripped up. There was too many blocks, obstacles, and they understand this and they're saying, I want to create something with you. I want to build with you. And I know we might have to start over. And I know that in order for me to build something with you or start over here, or even just move in the direction, even if we haven't built anything, it's like I must allow something to fall, either in my world, a belief, a way I'm living, or let something go that has happened in the past, either between you and I or whatever, to start anew in order for this thing to flourish. And I want it to flourish. And it seems like this person is sort of battling, or it could be one idea is yours and one's theirs, because one is really talking about freedom, independence, and one's talking about stability and security and maybe even like some form of commitment and stabilizing something. And one's more wild, So it could be that this person wants to be independent, wild, free, roaming in some way. And it's like, well, I want security, stability. Like that could be the two things we're sort of arguing about here, okay? But this person is saying, like, I feel nurtured in your presence. I feel I could be my true self. And I want to be my true self, of course. And I don't know that this person has honestly been communicating with you the truth of how they feel, which is safe, secure. But there is, like I said, this desire to have a beginning with you, to explore what this could be between the two of you guys, whatever this endeavor is, this relationship or this experience. And I do feel like this person definitely sees your value. And I do feel like this person sees this as a beautiful opportunity that is abundant for them, for sure. And so maybe you question, like, maybe they don't see value in engaging with me or connecting with me, or because when someone chooses, and it seems like they're choosing something maybe aside from the investment, and we could question, like their feelings, their integrity, their desires, and all of this stuff. But I feel like there is this difficulty that we all have when we have some form of attachment or identity that we've created, or a world that we've built, or an understanding that we have of ourselves that needs to be seen through. And I don't feel this person is saying this, okay, but I'm saying this because it's coming from spirit and saying that this experience is made for this person to tear down what's not true and stable for them, in order for them to be able to generate a new version of them that is going to be abundant for them. But it's not just about them, because I feel like this is a dance of two and something that needs to be nurtured. And so there's a need for you to maybe learn about your own independence, your own authentic self, your own freedom. Free yourself, speak your truth, protect what you want to nurture here. So there seems to really be like, we have to connect to our heart, and we have to learn about, like how not to guard our heart, because you could really be sort of guarding yourself as well. And I'm not saying, don't guard it, but this is the lesson of sorts. It's like, what is boundaries and what are we guarding from? Because I always give this sort of spiel, but it's really coming through here. It's like when we block certain things and people out, we have to look at ourselves, because it's the story we tell ourselves as to what we're protecting ourselves from. But that's the story, that the thing that we're actually protecting ourselves from, not the thing itself. Because the thing itself is inherently neutral. There is no threat, but it's the weight that I tell, the story that I tell about that thing. It's this, it's that, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, it did that, it does this. Those are all sort of projections and understandings we have. And then we create boundaries to keep people out. So I feel like there's protecting me. I got to protect me, And this is a human nature. And then we think it's that thing that's threatening. I don't think this person's threatening at all. Okay, but this is the lessons here. And so what this person is talking about here is, I see your value. I'm sort of working through release and protecting my heart. I don't want to get hurt. It's difficult for me to be vulnerable. It's difficult for me to understand how to love myself enough to allow myself to entertain whatever is going on here. And all I know how to do or be might be dangerous or cause harm to the dynamic in some way, because it's not necessarily flowing authentically. I'm not necessarily communicating my truth. And so it might seem like I'm creating harm in some way, and then you feel like you must protect yourself. I feel like there's something here about abandonment with all this red, and it's like, how do we deal with abandonment that we experienced in the past? We have all sorts of coping mechanisms, and we block people out however we do it, or we attach. And so I feel like there's lessons on both sides here about learning how to overcome. Okay, but I do feel like this person is saying, like, it's like, there seems to be a belief here that this person's like, if I give of myself in some way, then I've lost this thing that I'm holding very dear to me about myself. Okay, now I don't feel like this person's all filled with so much self-love that they're able to outpour it towards you. It's almost like a lack of belief here, because it's like, I'm hanging on to the little bit that I can feel connected to. And this is why it's so difficult for me to let this go or move forward, or why it feels stuck here, or why I have a hard time being vulnerable or open or expressive or authentic with you. And so I might seem like I'm counterintuitive or productive towards this connection, or counteractive. I'm doing something opposite, And so I feel like this person understands that you're quite nurturing here. I feel this person does feel guided to you, maybe guided by your energy, maybe guided by spirit, or you're sort of guiding somehow this energy in some way. There seems to be a lot of realizations that are happening as well. The more sort of this person, it works through releasing certain things. I feel like this person has already started to release or change as a result of this connection. So they're saying this, like, things are shifting, things are slowly changing here. I wasn't expecting to feel the way that I felt, or, it seemed very sudden for this person. And these realizations are sort of coming online here to make them see certain parts about themselves. And I do feel like this person's saying, I've been burnt in the past, like disappointed in the past, or very hurt in the past, or it was intense for me to experience what I did, however, at whatever point they did. And so now all I know how to do is sort of protect myself and block out love, or hold my own love to myself because of what I've experienced here. And so unless I know that it's going to be completely safe and I'll be nurtured here, I don't do it. But it's like, we never know it will be safe, We could just hold back forever and hold out forever. So there seems to be a lot of the experience that helps one to integrate one's shadow. And the shadow is abandonment wounds, how I engage in relationship, the understanding I have of how I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to say, and whether I could be vulnerable or defensive. And so this experience for this person is being shown to them, and they're understanding this about themselves. But what they're telling you is that, like, their higher self's coming through saying, like, this is the grand sort of purpose, but I'm not quite in the manifesting world just there to reflect exactly the truth of this connection. The truth of this connection is much more in line with how you're sort of seeing it. And right now there might be some, like I said, resistance, a stalemate, a stuckness, and a holding on and a holding back to something that they can't hang on or hold back because it will shift with spirits. There is no stopping whatever this is, They're not saying, I can't stop what this is. It's just spirit is like, there is no stopping what this is. Things will be revealed. And it's interesting because I was getting the integration of shadow, and I'm seeing a horse, which is about the chariot. We're seeing a black leg and a white leg. So it's really giving me the chariot here, even though we only have one horse. And so I feel like if we're out of balance, one horse, then we can't get to where we're going. And that's why you might feel stuck. It's out of balance. But when we're in balance, it's like we're able to integrate the shadow in order to drive with truth. And this will free us. Will free this person. And so they're going against their truth here, is what I feel. I feel like this person is also saying, like, my environment right now gives me some form of safety and protection. Even though this person does feel very, like, protected and nurtured by your energy, I do feel like this person is choosing some other story. And it does feel sort of in their material world, because it's their security over their heart, And it's like, I could just sort of cling to that at the expense of risking and being vulnerable with my heart. And then what? I wouldn't have this security or this material protection, But that's a misbelief here. But that's sort of what's coming through here, because they believe that they have to sort of stay put somewhere because it is providing them some form of security financially or in their resource. And yeah, this is sort of coming through. It's like, but they say that that's the reasoning, but they don't really understand or see that the real reason they're doing this is because the alternative is I'd have to be vulnerable and expose my heart. But I don't see that that's what I'm actually doing here, because there's a truth they need to understand and still see and learn through this, that it's not that they're choosing safety and security because it's going to give me more financially. It's like, yeah, they could say that, and they do believe that. You know, it's like, I got to stay here, or I got to be put here, or I have to choose this way of doing it. And they believe that because when they see through that illusion, the truth, it's just, I'm too scared to move forward or let go or be vulnerable because then I'm exposed. Nothing to do with this other thing here. So it's sort of like a crutch. So it feels like, okay, and maybe you see this and it's like, that scares me because you know the truth that I won't admit to myself or accept. And so this thing seems like it's going to require a lot of nurturing and that sort of thing. And maybe you're not wanting to nurture this thing and you might not have to. But what I feel here is like it's a divine led experience. And so we can resist the divine all we want. And I feel like it's a mutual sort of engagement because there's lessons on both sides. It might not be identical to this person and we could be very frustrated with this person, but we might have something we're doing that's maybe frustrating to this person. You know, they're not saying this, but I'm saying this because I'm seeing this, or I'm channeling this because it's coming through energetically. And it's like we both must be sort of reborn and let go of something, an understanding or something here, you know, that I do feel is rooted in some sort of abandonment or some sort of lack, some sort of need for self-love. So let's see, what does this person wants to say? Like, what am I missing here? Maybe they're just coming around to get in your way. You know, that's what it seems like. Maybe that's how you feel. What does this person want? Like, what are they wanting to say here? What do they want to communicate with pile number 2, who might be very frustrated with this person? Clear and concise message. The 3 of Cups. I want a reconciliation. I want to be friends. I want us to get along. I want it to be harmonious. I want you to accept me. Look at the balloons. Ascension. Okay, some of you guys, it could be a third party, but the third party, like I always say, could definitely be they're choosing this other thing, you know, the material world or that other person, that relationship, that world is like, I can't let go of it, you know, but it's like, but I want to be in your world. It's like, well, it's only a 3 cups. Annoying. The Hermit, Virgo energy, know thyself. It's funny, one of you guys commented the furnace journey. Hermit, not furnace. That made me snort, laugh so loud. All right, so anyway, 2 pentacles in the reverse. Let's see, what does this person want to communicate? Why is this 3 cups here? Empress, wow. Divine Empress energy, Divine Feminine, Taurus, Libra. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. And why is this 2 pentacle in the reverse here? More hammers and saws, the working part. Why is the 2 pentacles here in the reverse for pile number 2 and what their person or this person that wants them to know or what they're communicating here? King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then the Fool. Aquarius energy. Under the Fool, we have the 9 of Swords. Alrighty. So just give me a second here. All right. So it's interesting because it's really the high self explaining what the material self or the 3D self or the matrix self is doing here on the 3D world that's creating your headache. It's like this person is saying from their higher self or their deeper understanding and creating suffering for you and anxiety and all sorts of things like this. Because my own worry, anxiety, understandings, and projections and fears are getting in the way of me exploring and being free and independent to explore this connection. Okay, and so even though I might talk about, I don't know, being free or wanting liberation or independence and truths, whatever this person might talk about, that's my truth. I'm free or whatever they say. They are actually very not free at all. They're very much stuck in their own prison of the mind. It has control over them. This connection is controlling this person in a way here to face what they're needing to face, which is vulnerability, emotions. Okay, this person wants you to know I love you deeply. I love you very, very, very deeply, even if I'm defensive, even if I'm not showing you, even if I don't know what to do with this thing, even if I'm not cooperating with you, even if it's not building yet, even if I'm not ready yet, I don't know myself deep enough. knowing myself takes time, and it really requires experience, and it really requires like, like being faced with the thing that I need to look at. Then I understand myself. The more I'm exposed, the more practice I have, the more practical experience I have, and then I could come to the point where I can actually decide and invest and do what I need to do in the 3D. But when I'm not there, I have nothing in the 3D that I can do. Okay? So I feel like this is this person awakening. I don't feel this person sort of awakened to their truth. And so it limits how they can invest in this connection here. But it doesn't diminish the fact that there's feelings, that there's love, that their emotions are still there, because they're human. The emotions we cannot fight. And no matter whether we think we can give to something or not give to something, the emotions are going to be feeling what they feel. And I feel like this person doesn't quite know where to put them and do with them. And they're making a train wreck here. And so it's like, I know I've made a train wreck of this thing. And I know sort of what's required of me, but the fear is louder and the stress is louder. And so there's fear about not succeeding. There's fear about where it would go. There's fear about, like what they'd have to release for sure. And the change in their world and movement for them would really require some form of a risk or sacrifice here, according to them, because they don't really fully understand themselves. So they're seeing the situation as a lack versus, it's like, I got to give something up to gain something. No, that's a lack mindset. There's nothing to give up. But what they're telling you is, I want a reconciliation. So it does feel like, I said, for a lot of you guys, you could be in no contact. But if you are in contact, it's like, I want you in my world. Don't leave my world. Stay here. Okay, because I'm figuring things out and I'm working through this. Their high self is saying, only through experience. This person sees you as someone very loving, very kind, very compassionate, very giving, very rich. When it comes to energetic richness, wealth. Okay, you could be very abundant here financially for sure, but it's like, you have everything here. You're nurturing, you're beautiful, you're soft, you're caring, you're compassionate, you're the ideal version of a person that I would invest in. So it's not about you or you not being the right person. It's the fact that I'm in a position here where I believe in lack. I don't understand myself enough to know how to invest in this whole thing. And here I am with a bag full of emotions, not knowing how to do what with this thing, And so if you haven't heard from this person wants a reconciliation with you. I feel like this person has been somebody here who hasn't been able to prioritize you. And you definitely feel like they didn't choose you. That's for sure, And they're saying, I see you. You're valuable. You mean something to me. I love you. I feel these feelings. I don't think they told you this, or maybe you just know, or they have told you, but it's like, okay, well, I know how you feel, but what are you going to do for me lately? It's like, I can't, but it's not the high self saying, no, they can't, forget about it. The high self is saying they believe in lack. They believe that they're not in a position here because it would require some form of a risk and some form of something that stresses the fuck out of this person, but you're keeping them up at night and they care enough and worry enough that you're taking up space in their mind rent free here. 10 swords in the reverse. So they don't want it to be over. They don't want to lose you. They worry about you. They're up in their mind about this. They're comfortable more in their mind than they are in their feels. And so this has kept them discombobulated. How do I deal with feelings? What are these things? I can't control them. What do you mean? I want to control, It's like, I want to understand. I want to have the ability to understand and control, and emotions are not like this. So what can I do? And now you are not talking to me, or we haven't talked, or you will leave because there's an anticipation that they might lose you in some way here. And it's like, I can't lose the best thing that's happened to me or the person that I'm supposed to being guided towards, because I know. We know when we feel this way and we're guided, we just know. And it's like, how can you let that go, regardless of the beliefs here in the 3D that we feel lack and doubt and We don't know ourselves, so we're sort of frozen in fear, and something has to be revealed. Something has to be experienced. Something has to shift. Something has to be awakened and seen in the 3D. And the high self and the truth is always there, but it can't pierce through when we're too much in the egoic mind or the mind story that clouds our understanding. So who knows how long this takes, for the truth to be seen and revealed. And so that's why Spirit is saying, like, the more we're sort of able to engage, the more lessons we see. And that's why maybe there's a lot of cycles and back and forths and up and downs with this person. And sometimes we're on again, sometimes we're off again, But every experience you sort of have with this person, the truth is slowly being revealed, and bits of what they believe that's actually destabilizing them falls away. Because at the end of the day, we're here for 3D, and this person's going to have to invest in a 3D way. Not have to, but if they want to create something with you, there has to be a practical effort and a choosing of this connection and a prioritizing of you and a commitment to building and working together and showing up. And that's not what they're doing. But my feelings are here. Well, feelings don't pay the bills, Our feelings don't do anything except for sit there. Okay? But again, feelings is true love. And there's nothing that says we have to do something with love. Okay, but it's like, what are we going to do with love? Because that is the human choice. That's the conscious choice that we make, is like, if we love, are we choosing love or fear? And right now, this person's sort of choosing to live in fear, despite the love being there, because the fear is loud. There's a lack, the story that they're telling themselves. This is what's deconstructing in order for them to rebuild this trust in themselves, to overcome the anxiety, the fear, the pain, and allow Spirit to move them, So that's what they're telling you. I see your value. You're beautiful. You're too good for me at the end of the day, but I want you in my world. Stay sort of here in my world. And if we're apart, I want to celebrate with you, see you, and have you in my world, but I don't know what to do with you, and I have nothing sort of to offer here, and I'm sort of believing in the lack story. All right, so pile number 2, this is your person who is coming forward with a message to you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Virgo, Taurus, Libra, Aquarius energy coming through at the tarot. All right, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys picked the Dream Visions Tarot. And I forgot to include these in the beginning part, but I will be using these 2 decks as well. Okay, Persona and Personita for the oracles. All right, to just put them here so I wouldn't forget to show you for those of you guys interested in the decks I'm using. So just quickly, because I don't think I mentioned in the intro, I will be having a promotion from now till the end of March. If you're interested in a private reading or any jewelry off prairievintagejewelry.com, you can book your reading there at prairievintagejewelry.com. And if you enter in the code sunshine35, SUNSHINE 35, you save 35% off from now till the end of March. All right, so we're taking a look at a person here. Okay, a loved one that is wanting to come through with a message for you. And this person could be someone you've never met. Okay, a loved one doesn't have to be someone you've met, because they could definitely be an ancestor you've never met. This could be a spirit guide. This could be an angel. This could be an animal, spirit animal. This could be your higher self. Okay, this could be someone who's crossed over. This could be a family member. This could be someone you're in no contact with. This could be someone you talk to every day, but for whatever reason, this messaging hasn't been communicated. So keep an open mind here, okay, as to who this is, but I'm going to describe who this person is, and then we'll look at what they want to say to you, their message to you, okay? So let's take a look. We have freedom, 101 and 2, and with the root chakra, it says liberated, artistic creativity, independence, free will, autonomy, emancipation, and open self-expression. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Essence, growth level. Interesting. I wrote freedom on my wrist here. Fascinating. All right. So we have this oracle card right here. Now I will be reading them intuitively. Okay. But of course, if the picture looks familiar to you, someone you might recognize, then you can definitely connect with that. Okay. But it's really for me to channel the information, whatever I pick up intuitively from the energy. of who this is. That's going to be your sort of information. Fascinating. Then we have this person. Oh, this person's smile. My goodness. Look at the energy shift from this person to that person. Wake up. Wake up. All right. And then we have this card right here. A wombat. Number 10. So 10 is all about completion, ends of cycles, transformation. And 10s are also ones, okay? Which is new beginnings, potential opportunities, independence, will, beginnings, pioneering, individuality. So connects to this one here, but this is a new deck for me, so I'm going to read this wombat. You can definitely skip ahead to see what it is that the wombat is pulling through here from the author. Although, like I always say, I do read it intuitively as well. Okay, very cute. Look at the feet here. Oh my goodness, those toenails. Wowzers. All right, wombat. Propeller head. It says, look closely at your creation and be satisfied there is no trickery. The framework, once a delicate fragment of imagination has taken shape, it won't be believed no matter how sincerely you explain. And convincing others won't make you sure, won't make it real. See your creation as though for the first time. Forget the days, weeks, months, or years invested and pay it every scrutiny. Hunt for the weaknesses. Before you trust this glittering mechanism to deliver your future, there must be a substance in the fantastic. First impressions betray your speed, strength, and determination. More considered observations might still question your diligence. When you appear to be doing nothing at all, the heaviest lifting goes on unseen in the most marvelous machine, your mind. The transition from thought to reality is fraught with fussing and fiddling and cursing, but you dig in and stubbornly defy the conventions of what you can and can't do under the bright burn of a lamp. And your magnifying lenses, you assess the cogs, springs, and complications. Notes are checked, lists are visited, and though you've started over more than once, more than thrice, you'll do so again if that's what it takes. There is to be no trick of false coincidence here. Groundbreaking, daring, and plotting critique are co-conspirators for success. The innovations, ideas, and thoughts that spin in one place cannot achieve liftoff. Move them out of your head and into the world where you can see and feel them more objectively. Test drive it all. In hearing something out loud, seeing it sketched out on paper, engineering the parts, and piecing them together, you can sort the theory from the actual. Through trial and refinement, your framework takes form and becomes sturdy enough to carry you through. It is then time to take your seat at the helm. Set your course and pull the lever. Hold tight. This ship is built to burst through glass ceilings. Okie dokie. Let's see. Then we have shapeshifter, light attributes, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. I don't know how to lay these cards, and they're feeling all sorts of ways for me. Sorry. And then we have Eros. 71, or the number 8. It's this way. Okay, so 8 is Leo and Aquarius. So we have movement, change, attainment, and authority, manifestation, business, leadership, abundance, goals with the 8 here. So let me sit with this person and see who this person is and then what they want to say to you. This card does not belong. No guidebook. Replacement card. Okay. Let me sit here. I'm so very fidgety here. It's like a hesitation here to jump into it. Okay, pile number 3. hopefully this is going to make sense to you guys, okay? Because we're going to begin to channel this thing, and generally it becomes very clear sort of by the end, hopefully. Okay, so just sort of bear with me as I start to unpack this thing of who this could be. Don't click away if it first doesn't necessarily sound like someone you know, because I do feel for this group, this is your higher self. This is what it really feels like. Okay, yes, this is what's coming through. So what is sort of going on here? I feel like your higher self is acknowledging a version of you, or this 3D life you're living here, and what you are investing in and what you are sort of doing and what you're going through. Your higher self knows you better than maybe you are really sort of understanding or connecting to, okay? And some of you guys are really connected to the higher self here, but the higher self is talking about an unwavering understanding about what you want to create and what you will create, because your higher self already sort of is like your future self. It knows everything you've sort of been experienced with and have done here. And it's talking about your pursuits and your passions and your like, and we're already getting into the message here, okay? But this is sort of how it's coming through. This feels like, yeah, like your passions, your desires, your pull and your purpose, and what gives you confidence and fires you up and wakes you up in the morning, and all of this stuff is like battling this version of you. So what it's sort of saying, okay, and this version of you that it's battling is maybe a version of you that sort of dreams about what could sort of happen, or fantasize, or just sort of, I don't know, you might even know that there's something that you can do or be or take off the ground, but you might have not seen it in action. It's not fully come into fruition. And so we could sometimes start doubting, our own ability, or that we can actually make something happen, or that it will come to fruition, or that we're capable of getting there. It is already getting into the message here. So I'm assuming this is the high self, like I said, because I don't feel like this is someone outside of you that's observing you, that believes in you. This is you and a part of yourself. And it's saying, I know your challenge right now, and I know where you doubt yourself, and I also know your vision, and I also know your capacity, and I also know your strengths, and I also know your what you can achieve here, and I also know your persistence, and I also know how far you can go, and your dedication and your resilience, and I also know that what's for you, because I do see what you will experience and accomplish and conquer here, and this is going to give you a freedom. This is going to liberate you. This is going to make you feel so secure, free, and fulfilled. And it's going to allow yourself to express the truth of who you are. And this creativity, this creation, this truth that you're about to build and you're about to do and commit to and drive is all what it's for here. Because if we experience challenge, we might give up at the first sort of obstacle or block here, or I might be too focused on the how to get there, and what might be a challenge, or how much persistence we might need, or what we might uncover on the way there, or how much effort this thing will take. And so your high self's talking about rolling with the punches, overcoming obstacles, being in the right place at the right time, learning the right things, and everything that you've sort of learned up until this point in time, whenever you're watching this thing, was all contributing to this energy about you that will go towards this thing. Even if it wasn't in the same sort of realm or along the same lines, it's like all of these traits and abilities and skills and talents and whatever it was that you've picked up is going to help assist you in this thing. So it's very catered to you, unique to your ability, your skill. And it is, like I said, it fires you up because it gives you something worth investing in. It gets your heart beating. It's like gets you up in the morning. And it's also very, very freeing. And it's aligning you with your authentic truth of creative expression. And I do feel it is very high level here, because I feel like there's something only really you can do, and this isn't like stroking the ego, but it's like it's only you can do it in this way, because it's really, again, catered to the version that's you've adapted to. It's a very specialized mishmash of energy that is required to pull this thing off, that's just intrinsically you. Okay. And so I feel like it speaks to your heart and your soul and your passion. And I feel like maybe if it doesn't like manifest at first or produce, or if you feel like it's just sort of a dream or just a feeling, you might be hesitant. You could be sitting on it. You could be questioning it. You could still be sort of working up the confidence to do it. You might even have to sort of like experience something that will give you the belief in self. Okay, or maybe there's something here you're still having to see, but I feel like it's the seeing within something with self, the confidence of self, or see the truth of what you're capable of doing here. But that doesn't just come online. It's like through engagement or through a journey or a lesson or an experience. Then we see the light. Then we know the truth. And so there seems to be sometimes the shadow self coming through that might even sabotage this, because it could just be a small voice saying, well, it's not going to go anywhere, or well, it's costing me more money, or well, I guess I don't have that skill, or well, I guess I didn't have that many likes or subscribers, or well, I guess today I'll just, sit on the couch and do nothing, or I'll go drinking with my buddies and I won't write the song or play that music, or I don't know, and it's fine if we sort of slip sometimes, but it's saying like, don't let the shadow drive, don't let the doubt drive, because we might think, well, I'm just sort of, it's just one night of not doing it or whatever. But it's like what this energy is talking about, which like I said, is high self. It could be spirit. It could even be now. Okay. And this is why I said stick around. You could have a spirit animal, a little one, it could definitely be a spirit animal, a spirit guide. Yeah, now I'm getting this energy. Wow. You guys might have clicked away, okay? But it's like the messaging is what's the more important here. But it does feel like if it's your higher self, if it's a spirit animal or a spirit guide, it feels as though this energy is really encouraging and removing any sort of things. It's like helping you push through or dig through, or removing obstacles and blocks. And it's like it knows of the progression, it knows of the path, it knows of where to be and how to go above certain things, and it knows how to, I don't know, like work with you in some way here, because I feel like it's talking about you again, like don't get pulled into the shadow aspect of the beliefs of doubt or habitual blocks that get in the way, but it's you creating that, like maybe, again, like I was trying to get at is like, we buy the story of the thing that we actually did rather than looking underneath why we were doing the drinking or the stalling. Okay, it doesn't have to be drinking. I was just say that because it's like I'd rather just sort of default to this thing that isn't helping. But it's not because we're surface and attached to that thing. It's because underneath that there might be a bigger doubt in succeeding, or there might be, an indecision, a dragging of the feet, because we might have an imposter syndrome or believe that, well, it's not gonna really, I can't succeed at this thing in some way. So this is saying like, I'm going to help you get your hands dirty, or you do get your hands dirty here. Like there's nothing that's going to stop you, and anything obstacle you need to rise above, like I'll help you navigate this thing. You're not alone. they're seeing what you need to see, and sometimes we need to sort of rise above circumstance or situation to see a greater truth. And it's also talking about something like really I don't know if it's prophetic so much, but it's valuable to the collective that needs to come from you through your expression. Again, whether it's art, your creative expression, or verbal, and maybe you have like, you're an orator, so you have, I don't know, a podcast or some sort of platform, or maybe you use words in your writing or your journals. But what this is saying, like, it's much needed, and it's very unique, like what this is here. And I feel like it's like sometimes you got to dig in deep, but it feels like it's digging in real deep here, but it's like it won't feel like you're having to pull yourself much longer once you sort of trust that this thing is going to move you forward. Because maybe you feel at first it's like, I really got to dig in deeper. I really got to overcome my bad habits of like stalling or procrastinating or doubting myself, or and maybe it's like, I don't know if I could do it alone. Maybe you thought you needed a partner or a studio or like a big production. Like there's something here like this, and that could also be that what your spirit guide here or your high self is saying is like, that is the belief in that, or that could be a crutch to a deeper truth that's sort of in the shadow of doubt. So it's like, no, but I don't have the studio, or I don't have that, so therefore it won't happen just yet, and maybe we have that vision that it has to be like that, but it's like, where's that stemming from? Because the most important truth here that's coming through is the delivery of this product or this creative thing that you're outputting. And I don't think you've output it yet. You could definitely be on your way to that. You could definitely like have started in some way, but I feel like whatever the main ceiling of it, or the main thrill of it, or the main purpose of it, it still needs to be released and experienced and delivered. And so it's talking about in this moment and in every moment, the choice will be like in front of you. And so it's talking about like, are you consciously choosing to make a decision to align yourself with this thing? Because this thing is going to matter. And so every moment where we're choosing the opposite, or to do something that's against it or counterproductive to it, then why are we making those choices to look at that? So it's really the messaging coming through here rather than the person, like I said, or who's communicating this thing. It doesn't feel human so much. Okay, if it's your high self, it's like your energetic high self, or it could be, like I said, a guide, an animal here. It's trying to guide you there, Let's see what their message is. Okay, well, that was part of their message, but this was their messaging, so that was interesting how that came through. Thank you, Spirit, for this message. What is it this person's wanting to communicate, or this energy? And can we know more about who this is? So that's pile 3 knows. Growth, 23. And number 5. Crows, poppies, and then again, these dandelions. Dandelions are all about the wishes coming true. I'm really seeing you following your North Star to gain your wish. But the poppies can talk about past experiences. So I'm getting 6 cups. So maybe it's a childhood dream, vision, wish. Maybe what you wanted growing up, or the growth from where you were at to getting to where you can go. It's talking about here. So let's keep going. Growth. And then we have bellflower with campanula. Gratitude. Gratitude makes sense of our past. Poppies brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. Remember I said the wish, the North Star, a vision for tomorrow, the future, the past, the future, the present. And remember here I was talking about in this present moment, there's always a choice, because it's going to impact where you go. And it's like, am I sort of feeding the old news story, because it'll keep us sort of in this present moment. If I feed the old news story, I'm sort of staying stuck. But in this present moment, if I'm choosing to move the needle ahead or making conscious choices, then to be in line with this North Star, then I'm impacting my future, my vision of this thing. It's kind of giving you guidance here. Now, some of you guys, it could be through birds, because I said it felt like a little animal for some of you guys. This bird is, sitting on a tree here. It's glowing. You could be seeing a lot of birds as symbols, guidance here, okay? So healing begins with the number 6. Now, this green is heart chakra. The heart chakra is glowing here, so something that speaks to your heart. 6 again is conscious choice, because that's the lovers. Are we choosing fear? Are we choosing love? Okay, and I want to say fear and love. It's like conscious to choose the vision when I'm in this present moment, or do I listen to the shadow, the fear, the doubt, the thing that makes me choose opposite of what's going to push me forward? Beautiful purple is connecting to the spiritual chakras, the third eye, vision, spiritual chakras, purple here. Another 6, my goodness, more lover's energy. Okay, so lover's devil, because again, it's the fear, the illusion of the can't, or the chain that holds us back with the devil. So we have Capricorn and Gemini energy, but 66 is a master number. Service as a source of joy in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. And so what are we doing this for, and how are we investing our energy? Are we sacrificing ourselves for something else? Okay, or staying small for something else? Or are we allowing the growth to sort of happen here? So 6s are all about problem solving, compassion, harmony, communication. Remember, this is something about the mouth here. I didn't say mouth, but it felt like something you were having to deliver, communicate. Maybe I said you could be an orator here through word. Okay, but communication can definitely come through a creative thing that outputs some form of expression into the universe. Okay, healing is also number 6. Service, love is number 6. Okay, so I feel like it's acts of service, love for humanity here. That lets this thing move. Dolphin. It says open up to emotional healing. Oh my goodness, healing begins. Wowzers. And some of you guys might even be a seer here with the third eye chakra, okay? But you're definitely being guided. You have the vision here. All tied up. 23. Look at this. How synchronistic are these readings? 2323. If somebody can put to the angel number what that means, Google 2323 angel number, 2323. I'm very curious to know what that is. Okay, but this is 5 and 5. And 5s are all about conflict, loss, change, rebuilding, and adventure. Okay, and freedom, which you had here, which is mostly what I'm feeling. The adventure, the freedom is by taking this risk or this challenge or this innovation. Okay, 55 is a master number. Change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated change. Obviously, being all tied up could be this devil energy we were feeling with the 6, and then 34. Number 7, a leg up. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okie dokie. So, pile number 3. This guide, whoever this is, okay, I didn't really do it a whole lot of justice here with who it was, okay, because it wasn't really clear to me. But I think the messaging is the most important part here, because regardless of how it's coming, either a guide, an angel, an animal guide, or your high self, it's whatever is directing you. And I feel you are sort of fed energetically by this thing intuitively, because it's been directing you towards this thing. It's already showed you certain things about this thing, okay, this creative thing. And I feel like, because this talks about healing begins in emotional healing, I feel like if you have experienced challenge, struggle, strife, difficulty with these 5s, and now this message makes sense. It's like, in order for us to deal with, let's say, alcoholics, we have to sort of be a recovering alcoholic, If we deal with, people who have been abused, to be the best sort of healer, we could be someone who's gone through abuse and made it out the other side, to really understand, to speak the language, connect with the energy, overcome something. Okay, but I really feel this is you being a healer to the collective. You're producing a healing thing to the collective. Okay. And I do feel like you might have had to free yourself, or you're working on freeing yourself through that, because anytime there's something worth sort of investing in, it doesn't generally come easy, because the best things sort of in life take some effort, some time, and some, grit to sort of get there. Some of you guys might still be sort of stuck in going through challenge right now, so this thing isn't off the ground. But this guide is saying, I know you might be challenged. I know maybe you're doubting yourself. Maybe you feel very stuck or chained to a circumstance. Some of you guys might already be free. And it's like, because you've sort of worked through this thing, okay, or it knows that you've healed or worked through something, it's like time to deliver this thing. But either way, wherever you are in that timeline, it's like you're the delivery. You're being shown how to deliver this thing. It's going to offer healing. It is your purpose. This thing is guiding you, and your experience in this lifetime of everything you sort of amounted to this point is contributing to this output of service, and it is coming from a place of true love of humanity, collective growth. Okay, and I feel like you feel very good doing this thing, because it feels like it's delivering something that's true to you, it's authentic to you. It's not just sort of checking off a box or running with someone else's beliefs or agendas. So I feel like this guide is saying, I'm here to support you. I've always been here. I'm going to send all the support I can. Whoever I need to put in front to help you is going to be there. Trust in me. Trust in the support, and trust when you need to ask for help, or if you think you can't get there, that the thing will show up. The resource will show up. The person's going to come. The thing will be there when you need it. Do not doubt this. And that this thing will be secure. It will be financially secure, or abundant for you, or emotionally wealthy for you, because whatever it is that you're seeking or aligning with here is your great purpose. It's meant for you. There's no way this could get derailed. And I do feel like we could be really doubting and hung up and stuck, because it's like, what if I lose my life savings? Or what if I go all in and then I don't get the support, or that, I don't know. You might have big questions about this. This thing is growth upon growth. It's going to grow. It's going to flourish. You're guided the whole way through. And I think what this guide is talking about is it's going to transform you, and it has probably already. And so your experience in this life, okay, I feel what it's saying is it needed to change you. It needed maybe to make you into, not make you, because you're always this beautiful, authentic self, but maybe it had to drop away what you weren't. Your transformation or your transmutation of energy, you might have had to release a lot of things, maybe move from certain place, release certain people. Okay, maybe you have to quit certain things, or just change your world in some way here in order for you to be in the primed energy. And so this guide is saying, this is why this has happened this way, or this is why I've been guiding you this way, or this is why maybe it has been difficult, because you're saying, why is it so difficult? Or, or maybe even like, why does this happen to me? Okay, but I feel like you're beyond the why is this happening to me. More as like, I know what's happening for me. And I know that I'm definitely being shown. And this is definitely coming from a loving place, because we could get stuck in being upset with where we're being guided, saying, well, I didn't want to experience suffering, or I didn't want to experience loss, or I didn't want to experience change, and we could resist it, But I think this is saying, like, don't resist this thing that's an experience, because it's aligning you with what it's been trying to show you here. It's going to guide you there. It's your purpose. It's actually something here very lucrative and secure. And you might even be like, well, I don't know anything about it, or I'm just a novice in that field. You could be someone who's just entering that field, and there might be a lot of experts. And it's like, well, will I even be good? Or saying, don't even doubt this thing. In fact, you're going to stretch that niche because what you do offer is something very unique that maybe, you know, that niche is sort of capped in some way, and you go and you sort of explode that understanding that people have about that field. And it's like, whoa, it's like groundbreaking. It's like pioneering these new sort of found information or something, you know, whatever this is, unique, special to you. Okay, it feels very beautiful here. You guys are going to have to tell me what you're working on, because I am very honored that you're here listening to this little YouTube lady. Someone called me an old lady the other day. I guess I am old, but you're just an old lady on my YouTube channel. It's pretty funny. Like, and what's your point? All right, so let's see. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. And this energy that's coming through with this message, this loved one, what are they trying to communicate here to pile 3? And who is this person? Is there more we can get about this person, or what they want pile number 3 to know? Look at this Ace of Pentacle. To manifest this beautiful, secure thing, okay? An Ace of Pentacle is a solid thing in the 3D. It's manifest. Okay, it's like it's here in the 3D. It's touchable. It's doable. It's financially rewarding. It's not a dream. It's not a pie in the sky. It's a doability. Okay, but obviously the Ace of Pentacle is still at an ace stage, which is a beginning. But I feel like, again, like I always say, the hand comes from the sky in the traditional tarot. That's the universe offering an opportunity. Out of nowhere comes this beautiful blessing. And it's made for you. And it's tangible here. That could be very fruitful and successful. This is clarifying this Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Cups, look, the heart. Oh my goodness. Okay, 6 is all about love. This is such a creative thing, you know. And third eye, the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very spiritual. It's like I have so much creativity. I see the vision. I feel the vision in my soul purpose. I have a lot of love for this thing. You know, you might have had to crack open your heart in a loving experience in order for this thing to manifest. So it's like, why is this happening? Well, so that your heart can be online, so that you can see with your heart. Okay, so let's see, who's this person and what do they want to tell you? Temperance in the reverse. So this is giving me this sort of an all tied up in the reverse here, because it's like we have to transmute energy, and in order to make something sort of happen, it has to sort of come together. So we must be in balanced and patient energy, rather than trying to rush something or doubt something. Okay, Sagittarius energy, and then Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What is this person trying to communicate, and who is this person? What do they want pile 3 to know? The 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. Why is this Ace Pentacles and Queen of Cups here? The 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, it's a potential here that hasn't yet manifested. And then the 10 of Wands in reverse. There's a surrender. 10s are all about endings. Okay, and why is this 2 Pentacle in the reverse? Is this 2 Pentacle? It's not. It's 2 Wands. Sorry. 2 Wands. Look at that. Okay, 2 Wands on either side. It's kind of tricky here, but 2 Wands in reverse. So again, I'm getting that 6 energy because of conscious choice. You know, 2 Wands is a decision that's in front of us. Do we play it safe? Do we pick the wand of the Dharma, the path less travel, or do we sort of stick to the wand we know? Which would be that fear story. So why is this 2 Wands? The Hermit in the reverse. Virgo energy. And 9 of Swords pointing to the mind here. And the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, so beautiful angel. Who this person is not really very clear to me, okay? Let's try to sort of do what Spirit's telling me, and then, I don't know, if I'm failing your channel as far as who it is, then I'm sorry. It could be a feminine energy, you know? I don't know. Maybe you're feminine here, and that's your higher self. But anyway, that's the only little bit that I am getting for who this could be. What the big fat energy of this energy that comes through is like, I am your biggest cheerleader, and I'm the one here that's going to help you to get there. But it's obviously you doing this. But everything that I'm trying to show you, everything that has become an obstacle, every question you've ever asked, every hesitation you have, every doubt that you're having here, I am trying to help you, show you, release that thing. It's saying, it's like this thing that you already sort of see and feel and know, even if you've taken no steps towards it just yet. Some of you guys have, some of you guys haven't yet. It is meant for you. It is manifesting for you. I feel like it's saying there's a process we have to get to. And this is why, this process is the transmutation must be done of any energy that can block this manifestation. If we have any sort of distorted energy in our energy field, a certain belief or a certain understanding or something still needs to experience in order for the cake to be ready, you to be primed, the vessel to deliver the message, the creation to be created, it still needs to experience. And so it's saying patience, surrender, don't resist. Yes, it will be fruitful. Yes, you'll be successful. Yes, it will be financially rewarding. Yes, you can sustain it on your own. No, you don't need anyone else. Yes, it's emotionally fulfilling. Yes, listen to the creative energy that comes through here with your soul. It's going to be very aligned with your purpose. And I will keep working with you to show you what needs to be shown and seen here. As long as you're aligned with this thing, you'll be revealed what you need to be revealed, because this thing will manifest, and it's a blessing from the universe here. But the universe cannot make you sort of move. It cannot make you decide. It cannot make you choose in the present moment. And the only way that you can actually choose to align yourself with this thing in every present moment and every decision you make, keep the needle moving, is for you to have gone through an experience. Because every experience you have, you get to know yourself better. And the truth is more online. And this thing requires authenticity, knowing oneself, going through an experience, so that when something is in front of you, you're choosing in line with this purpose and this thing. But if you don't have the experience, you don't understand yourself, you haven't gone through the thing, then you don't see the thing, and then the experience comes in front of you, and you're like, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I'm all out of whack. I can't choose it. And then we stay doing whatever we're doing, And so this is saying surrender. Don't carry the burden. Don't stress about where it's going to go or how it's going to go or where it's going to lead or why it looks like this now and when it's going to look like that or why I feel stuck now or why. Like, those are all thoughts that could get in the way of this thing. It's saying, please don't doubt me or / your capability, because this is really saying it's you. You're the only one that can sort of derail it if you don't sort of work with the universe and trust your own soul and self here, your own truth. It's like if you start to interject anything here that's sort of contradicts truth. And of course, it's not in our nature to contradict a truth. If we see a truth, it's in our nature to align with truth. We always align with truth. We don't say, please, more lies and confusion and stuckness for me. Nobody does that. People want easy. They want simple. They want to align with what feels good to them. This feels good to you, The only reason we would ever get all discombobulated and tied up is because we're still not conscious enough, to see the choice in front of us, to know ourselves or to choose the thing. And so this is why this is sort of happening. And this is why it's saying everything that you've experienced will lead to making these decisions. It's shaping you into being conscious, Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. It's almost like if we were reading like a book from, let's say, Einstein or whatever, and you're like, I don't know, in, let's say, grade 7, you can only pick out certain things, Now, let's say you're a scientist and you've been in your studies for like 30 years, and then you read Einstein's book. Your consciousness is different. What you read from that book will be different. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. It's like, so when something's in front of you, the book, the opportunity, the whatever, you can see it. You could pick it out. But when the consciousness isn't there, I don't even see it. I'm not even in tune with it. I'm not even vibrating in that energy. So I'm not going to see. And when I don't see and the opportunity is not there, I can't go down that path. It's blocked. So it must be primed. The cake must be baked. The right energy must be here. Then it's successful. Then it produces. Then it manifests. So any delay isn't because, oh, spirit hates me or I'm not getting it or whatever. It's just saying it's not ready. The cake's not ready. The cake's not ready. It needs more ingredient, needs more flour, it needs more egg, needs more time in the oven, whatever it needs. There's nothing to do with anything you can control. Your job is surrender, trust, and I will guide you. It's what this thing is telling you. Don't get stuck and tied in knots with doubts and fears and, keep pulling the cake out. The cake's in the oven. It's baking. It's going to go flat. Trust in the process here, okay? Now, it won't go flat. I think the cake will bake, but you know what happens when you keep pulling the thing out, It never cooks, takes forever. The inside's still raw, So I do feel this energy loves you very much. That is coming through, okay? You're seeing fish here because I just feel it's abundant. It's financially wealthy for you. It's your abundance. It's your wealth. It's your potential. It's going to make you very, very happy here. It's going to bring you towards people as well, whatever this is. So your community, it's going to be sort of the backbone of your financial stability or security. And if you've been sort of wandering towards where do I fit in or where is it going to go, it's saying, I will direct you. You don't need to figure that out. It will be shown to you, but you need to have the consciousness open to see the choice. If it's not there, it's not shown to you yet, it means it's not quite ready yet, and there's more experience that needs to be done and seen. And I won't abandon you if you're not seeing it just yet. It doesn't mean that I've left or that you're not guided. It just means it's not time for the next step. We're still integrating a surrender, or we're still working on something. You don't need to carry this burden, okay? And if there is something that you're having to sort of detach from, because I feel like for some of you guys, there's having to free yourself from something. It's like, just allow yourself to enter this transformation, complete this cycle, and enter this with an open hand, because the universe is giving you this blessing to experience this thing. And definitely supported here, okay? So I hope this helps you. This is such a beautiful reading. I hope that you guys leave comments here so that I know what you're working on, if you can. If you do know, because it seems like you're just privy to what's being shown to you, but some of you guys might already have a clear, very clear vision of what this is and your ability to heal others, and it just feels so beautiful. But either way, this is the path that this energy is sort of guiding you down, okay? So I love you guys very much, and I so love that you're here at this channel, and I do want to thank you for your service, and I do want to acknowledge someone who's gone through whatever you've gone through here, this ordeal. They're like, to get here, you must have gone through some sort of ordeal, some sort of lesson, some sort of understanding. That's quite profound. Okay, so don't underestimate that whole part of it either. All right, beautiful angel, love you very much. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.